Hey, welcome back to part two. I will move more quickly, and I am going to just give you the answers, and then if you want to stick around and get the explanation, we can do that. So let's see. Number three, here is your perfect passive participle action, and the correct answer is B is wrong. Again, I'll go over it in a second. For four, the wrong answer, and therefore the correct answer is A. All right. You've got Porcus scissus. And then the last one, you've got, oh, this is tricky. Okay, I see what they did. For the last one, they're all happening in the right time frame, but you have a Cornelio. And so you're actually looking for something being done passively or actively. And for that, the correct answer, and therefore the wrong answer, is C. All right, now I'll go over them. For B, all of these are the same, right? You've got scraps of chicken were given to the clients, okay? All of these, that is the same in every single sentence because that is just what this is, okay? So you don't have to worry about that part. The only thing you're really going to be focusing on is the phrasing at the end, which is the perfect passive participle, because you've got invited clients to dinner, or the clients having been invited to dinner. So we've got who were invited to dinner. Yes, who were invited to dinner. They were invited. That happened earlier. That one is good. All right. Next one, we have while being invited to dinner. This one is happening at the same time because you've got while. So this one's happening at the same time, which is why it is wrong. Having been invited, right? So having been invited, it happened earlier. And so that one is also going to be correct. And so your wrong one, and therefore the correct answer is B. For number four. Again, we've got it was carried to the guests. So it looks like carried to the guests is going to be your main phrase. And so we're looking at the rest of it, which is just porcus scissus, right? The cut pork or carved pork. All right. So we go to A, carving the pork. Well, carving, right? That's happening at the same time. And so this one is happening at the same time. And so that is why that one is wrong, and therefore the correct answer for A, the carved pork, right? That means the pork was carved earlier, right? So that's earlier or before. The pork which had been carved. These are my two favorite ways to do it, right? Having been carved, never mind. This is a relative clause. All right, so both of these happen earlier or before, and so both of these are correct and therefore wrong, and your correct answer is A. 5. Oh my gosh, they're so evil that they did this to you. You've got your main phrase, right, where it's the slave was bringing water to the guests, right? So he was bringing water, direct object, to the guests. Your subject is slave, the slave having been ordered by Cornelius. So if we look at each one of these, we can see a slave who had been ordered by Cornelius, right? And so who's performing this perfect passive participle? Cornelius, right? He is ordering the slave, right? So slave who had been ordered. This happened earlier. That's great. And Cornelius is performing, right? He's ordered by Cornelius, right? So the slave is passively being ordered by Cornelius. B, the slave, when he had been ordered by Cornelius. So once again, we have by Cornelius, right? It's happening. The slave is receiving that action. He's being ordered by Cornelius. He's the subject. He's passive, and he had been ordered. Again, this is happening earlier. It's all correct. He's ordered by Cornelius. Now, here we have Cornelius ordered the slave. Okay, Cornelius still performing the action. Slave still receiving the action. But the slave is no longer the subject. The slave has now become an accusative. He went from ser was, now he is ser wam, right? Because we have Cornelius is performing the action, but it's not by Cornelius, right? It's not the slave is receiving the thing by Cornelius or from Cornelius. Cornelius is now ordering. We have subject, verb, direct object. This is not a passive sentence. This is very active. Cornelius is your subject. He's performing the action. The slave is receiving it. Whereas up here, you have slave as your subject, right? And he is receiving